Monday, January 28th. Monday. And we are in our brand new studios. This is the first time ever doing a show here.
And it is exciting, and it is a lot bigger than what our other one was, that is for sure.
Yeah, we were used to be shooting like in our kitchen, and we had kids everywhere, and it is really cool.
And then we decided maybe we can do something in the garage. We thought maybe we could just build a set in the garage.
Right.
But then you guys started looking at places. You started looking at places, Rob?
Yeah, so when we left you guys, we were literally going to build a TV studio in the garage, and that's what Tristan and I, we were like gung-ho to do
we
this.
Had this whole set in stone plan.
Yep.
What days we're going to be working on it.
And one of our business partners actually started looking online for commercial space because he didn't want us to freeze every week in our garage. And so we found this guy, we made a call, and we went and looked at the place, and lo and behold, not only is this enough space to do this show, Mama T's Cooking Big, My Rad Life, but we can do 2 other shows here as well. Plus we have a green room, plus we have a dressing room.
And let's keep in mind, this was the first place we looked at.
Yeah, the very first place that we looked at. Come to find out, the guy that we got it from does adoptions. He's a GAL, a guardian ad litem, for lots of foster kids here in the Springfield, Missouri area. And his wife owns a staging company.
Which couldn't have worked better,
right.
Honestly.
So she had all this stuff to stage our new studios with, and she has an eye for design, and let me tell you,
it's nice.
It's nice, and we're going to take you on a little tour later, but we have like nicer studios than our local TV media has here in Springfield, Missouri, and we are so grateful to be here, and it's a blessing.
Oh, it is.
I mean, it's
from the very start, it just felt that way.
Yeah, it just all fell together, and it just was really cool. And we're not freezing. We actually have a thermostat here, and we can turn on the heat, and we're not in our garage, and we're not cold. So we left them at Christmas. How was your Christmas?
It was good. I enjoyed my Christmas.
What did you guys do?
One thing we did, we threw axes. We went as a family and threw some axes.
You did what?
We threw axes at a target.
I thought you were like, you threw axe at each other.
No,
but
actual axe.
There's a couple of family members. No, I'm kidding. I would never throw an axe at any family member.
Trust me, it got pretty rough.
But you throw them at targets?
Yep, we throw them at targets. It's actually.
Is this something you do at your farm, or what? Do you, where?
No, it's
like where do you do this?
In Springfield. It's here in Springfield, and they put it on just about every night, I think, and you can go out and throw some axes and make a game out of it.
You throw axes. That sounds kind of dangerous.
I mean, it can be, but
so
they train you in.
Is it kind of like darts, where like if you hit a certain part, you get points, or how does it work?
It's just like a bullseye, and it's a wooden board, and you throw the axe at the bullseye, and then they have little diamonds up on the top left and right corners. And you can throw those towards the end, and those are like 7 points if you get that.
I'm telling you, folks, Tristan's other job, he's an RN, which means redneck, with a metrosexual twist. So that means that he likes to look good, he likes to dress nice, but he's a total redneck, and that's the opposite of me, and I think that that's probably why this works out so well.
It might be. What did you guys do for Christmas?
So our Christmas was wonderful. We had the kids home. Everybody was home this year. And we've talked so many times. We have some kids that struggle with RAD, reactive attachment disorder. And the holidays are usually rough. But our 2 boys, I think, for the very first time, totally enjoyed the holidays. They had fun. And we had no anything. I didn't have to admit any to the hospital. We didn't have to call any social workers. We had no 911 emergencies, and we all just kind of enjoyed. We relaxed, and they played with their toys, and we just had a really good Christmas break. And it's been exciting to see them get excited about what we're doing here on Foster Life this year. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to be fun this year. Mondays, Courtney is going to be here. And if you saw Courtney last season, you know she is one smart cookie. And she'll be here every Monday as our expert. And she'll be talking about all these different things with us and helping us learn more about kids we foster. Also, the other cool thing that we added, what are we doing 2 times a month on Fridays? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
From our production meeting? Oh my
No,
gosh.
I don't remember.
He doesn't even remember. We got Adoption Friday twice a month.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what, our 2 first stories,
They're phenomenal stories.
yeah, like you're going to want your Kleenex and everything because they are tearjerkers and they are just amazing, amazing stories. But when we come back after these messages, today we're talking about religion and should it dictate whether people should be able to foster and adopt. Tristan and I are going to start the conversation right after these messages on Foster Life.
Hi, I'm Courtney. Join me every Monday on Foster Life, and we'll get the conversation started.
Rob, Tristan, we're back on Foster Life today. So, have you seen the news?
I have seen the news.
It was big yesterday. Michigan is trying to pass a bill that religious organizations get to determine whether they license same-sex foster parents and adoptive parents.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you've gone through all the classes and done everything, these religious organizations get to make that decision. And we're going to open up the conversation today. And I think it's something that we need to talk about. We need to kind of explore the statistics, one, and we just need to have a conversation about it.
And this isn't the only state that is...
No, 15 states in the United States this bill has passed, including the state we live in, Missouri. So any faith-based organization can deny a foster parent the right to license them. Now here's where the problem comes in, because a lot of people would say, well, why don't they just license with the state? Well, the state is so busy with their caseload that they're not taking any more foster parents. So if you're a same-sex couple and the only thing that you have in your area is faith-based organizations that license, other than the state, and the state isn't taking any new foster families because their caseload and they're overworked, and they are. I mean, I know lots of people that work for the state, and they're totally overworked. Courtney, who's here on Monday, she can tell you, she used to be in that job. She knows. And so they're overworked. So they go to these faith-based organizations. And here's the thing, folks. I get it. People don't understand. There's a lot of things in this world we don't understand. But there's 2 ladies in Michigan, same-sex couple, 200,000 plus income a year.
Yeah, I think it was close to around 250,000. Just
Right.
them 2.
So that's what they make. Beautiful home. Been together 18 years.
And all they want to do is adopt.
Right.
That's
They
all
want
they
kids. They take their nieces and nephews every other weekend. They say they're amazing. They play with them. They interact with them. They do things with them. They've done their training. They've went through the background checks. Nothing. Great candidates to foster. But all the agencies are saying no because they're a same-sex couple. And I don't know, it just doesn't sit well with me because I was always trained.
Well, I just feel like they're just as qualified as anybody else.
Yeah, well, they are just as qualified. And even if we don't understand it, they're still qualified. And here's the other thing that kind of rubs me wrong is I was trained from the minute that I started my foster care journey. The number one person that I'm supposed to look out for is the kid. So if we look at statistics, most families that take care of our foster kids in America, that have foster homes and that adopt, are what?
Same sex.
Yeah, same-sex couples.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, heterosexual people can have their own kids, most of them, some can't, and they foster and adopt, but a lot of them can, and so they don't go down that road. There's a lot of really good same-sex couples, whether you agree or disagree, you think that they're going to heaven, hell, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're qualified.
I've met plenty of them that, I mean, they're just as good of people as anybody you'd see. I mean,
Right.
You wouldn't
And
think anything different of
and
them.
they would go overboard because they want children so bad. And so, you know, I kind of sit back and because I try to always see both sides.
Mm-hmm. And I can see both sides too. I mean,
Right.
There's some pros and cons to both, but when
Right.
it comes down to it, if you're thinking about the children, I just, if they're qualified, they've went through the training, I just feel like they should have the right to foster these kids and take care of them because you know that they will.
Right. And some will argue that, well, if we start having same sex, you know, the neglect rate and the abuse rate's going to go up because these people have this and that and the other. But
It's already been proven.
yeah, they broke it
Basically.
down. In the United States, when we look at all of the cases that are open for neglect and abuse, folks, it's not the same-sex couples. It's not. I mean, I can't change the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And 15 states. I feel like that's 15 states that are doing a disservice to children because that's going to be more kids going into residential because that's less foster homes that we're going to have in those states if we continue to do this. This is where the conversation starts, only on Foster Life. Moving your license to the state is not easy. We were with a private agency. We had an awesome licensing worker. They changed some things within their organization, and we got a new lady that was in charge of licensing. A pain in my butt. And we go by the book. So we wanted to move our license to the state, and we even had people from the capital of Missouri come here to talk to Ethan and I about doing that. And they're so overworked that they couldn't do that. They're assisting us in another way, but they couldn't do it.
Wow.
And so if we're denying same-sex couples the opportunity to license because of who they love, I guess I'm trying to see both sides, and I do. I mean, I see some things. But then on the other hand, I think, well, you know, and really if you want to get right down to it, Tristan, you know, I have a pretty strong faith.
Oh yeah.
And I've really dedicated my life to serving. And I'm in no way perfect at all.
Nobody's perfect.
And I have my own demons that I deal with, and I have my own things that I'm working on. But dude, if we start nitpicking everything when we already need foster homes. I mean, if they nitpicked me, I'm sure you could find something in my past or in my life that somebody can gripe about as to why I shouldn't be a foster parent.
For me, it's like if we're gonna nitpick this, then let's nitpick divorce on who gets custody over the kid. I mean, does the mom have full-time custody or does the dad? And is that gonna change his personality or her personality just based on who she or him's living with?
Right.
I mean, it could go either way into that one too.
Right. Or say you have a couple that's married and mom or dad comes out and we start saying, well, no, you can't have any custody of your child because it's kind of the same thing.
That's what I think.
Yeah, and do we really want to go down that avenue? And are we really doing what's in the best interest of the kid?
That's the main thing there. That's the one thing that everybody just needs to look at, because a mom can take care of a kid or a dad can take care of a kid, or two moms and two dads can take care of a kid. As long as best interest in the kid's gonna do okay. He's gonna have a good life, she's gonna have a good life, and everything's gonna be fine.
2 men in Canada. I'll never forget this story. If you haven't seen it, look it up. They take in all these disabled children, and I mean disabled like they have to have the lifts in their house to lift them out of bed, to bring them into the kitchen, and to get them propped. 2 men. And their handful of children have the most amazing family ever. And there's heterosexual families like that too. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
But could you imagine if that was the bill across the aisle and we started judging who could be foster parents and who couldn't be? And for the Christian community, I'm going to tell you, and you can tell me how you feel.
And we want you to tell us how you guys feel also.
We want to start the conversation.
Right.
And we want to have open conversations so that hopefully we can
Either help people or maybe they
Yeah.
can even help us understand both sides of the...
Exactly. But the thing of it is, you know, can you imagine if those kids didn't have those 2 men? And if we keep nitpicking everything, I think our problem's going to get bigger.
Well, there's just not going to be enough foster homes is what's going to happen.
Right. We're talking about what's in the news today. Kids coming into foster care, up significantly this last year, nationwide. Foster homes, down, nationwide. Residential, up, nationwide. These kids in residential, I hate to put labels on, I hate statistics and everything, but come on, the numbers don't lie. The chances of them being incarcerated after being in residential for so long, because they adapt to that lifestyle. And they get used to being, you know, in that facility type thing.
Yes.
And so that's where they feel the most comfortable. And so then we have another issue. We want to hear from you about this topic, about this bill. I want to hear both sides because I like to learn. I like to know what people are thinking. But I'm telling you today, it's your job to get behind the foster care system and let your state representatives know what you expect from them. As voters, we are their boss. And it's time that we use our voice, no matter how you feel, and let them know. Because we have a lot of kids in need that need good homes to foster. We really need to lighten it up a little bit. That's heavy stuff.
It is.
And I get real weird about that stuff because I do think about the kid.
It's a very emotional topic.
Oh yeah, it is
It's
emotional. And
Anger or happiness just going in and out.
exactly. So when we come back, we're going to talk about some good foster stories in the news and an awesome adoption story that if you haven't heard about it, you're going to love it. Right after this. Welcome back to our premiere of Foster Live. It's so good to be here.
Oh, it is.
In our new studios. And you probably will see the quality and everything is better than when we're at the home in the kitchen.
Yes.
We were talking at the break, you know, this Love is Love movement that the government has gotten on board with, because that's come together, we didn't really even think, you know, a lot of kids are exploring more of their homosexuality or their transgender, and they're coming to realization of that at a younger age.
Right. And it almost seems like what better place for them to be than maybe a same-sex family.
Mhm.
If they're wanting to see what maybe it would be like to be a different gender, maybe their family would be the ones to look at and show that it's okay to be a little bit different, because
Right.
I mean, what family's normal nowadays? You know?
Right, exactly. No family's normal, but it gives them the opportunity to see that it works.
Right.
And what I think part of our job is, as foster parents, is to mentor them. And what a better place to mentor them than in a home where they can explore that. And not all families, and it's okay, we're not beating anybody up, but not all families are okay with a child coming into their home that's transgender. And so,
And I can see that side of it too.
Right.
I could understand that.
Right.
It's not something that we're saying, oh no, you guys need to be accepting or anything.
Right.
It's just, I can see where other people would be more accepting than.
right, and so putting them in the right place.
Right.
So, Christmas time, right before Christmas, did you see that the Hawthorne
The
family?
Hawthorne family, yep, in was it Hot Springs, Arkansas?
Yep, Hot Springs,
Yes.
Arkansas.
Yep.
And they adopted before Christmas, was it 7?
7 kids, yeah.
Had them in foster care for 3 years. They were like Ethan and I.
And didn't they originally not even?
Yeah, they were just gonna foster.
Right.
Ethan and I said the same thing. Then you fall in love, and then the worker comes to you and they say, well, Joey's gonna go up for adoption. And you're thinking, Joey ain't going up for adoption. He's been with me for 2 years. I fell in love and he's put me through hell. I'm gonna adopt him. You know? So, but what a neat, imagine for those kids what
yeah.
Christmas was like this year.
I mean, I could only imagine how amazing that probably was to them.
Yeah, and they always wanted a family. And you know, I guess the reason why that story kind of touches me is my mom had 13 brothers and sisters, and her mom passed away, and my grandpa, my bio grandpa, just kind of up and left them. And my mom was always so glad that she was one of the younger ones, and she was adopted with her little brother. And my mom always was so glad, number one, that she was adopted with her little brother and that they weren't separated. But my mom's adoptive parents always kept them in touch with the 13 siblings.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And my mom had an awesome relationship with her sisters and her brothers that she wasn't raised with. But my gosh, those kids, they probably need to go get a lottery ticket or something because they got the jackpot.
Yes.
I mean, 7 of them, and they all got to stay together.
Yep.
And they got the family. What a cool story.
Mm-hmm. And what better time of the year, honestly.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
Christmas. That's
this-
like the ultimate Christmas present, and they'll always be able to tell.
Hi, I'm Courtney. Join me every Monday on Foster Life, and we'll get the conversation started.
I know that today was kind of deep.
It was probably the most hardest topic to talk about.
Oh,
that
it
we've had
was.
so far.
But I think that we want to start those conversations because we do love these kids. And we're just trying to do a mission. We're trying to advocate for foster parents, adoptive parents, kinship parents. We want to advocate for foster youth and caseworkers. Yeah, caseworkers. Yeah, with all the kids that I've had. Because some of them, I mean, they're in the job for 3 months and then I got a new caseworker because they can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
They're overworked. They're underpaid. And out of 5 years, and probably, I'm serious, probably 30 caseworkers, I've had 2 bad ones. And they didn't even represent my kids. They were licensing workers. And they were terrible. These caseworkers, they're important people. My son Robert, he has an 8-year relationship with his caseworker.
Oh my. Wow.
You know, he's known her longer than he's known us.
Yeah.
My son and daughter, Rosalind Rose, their caseworker is like their aunt, and her husband is like their uncle. And they love them. Caseworkers are important. And I'm going to tell you, you're gonna find some bad ones. But for the most part, you're going to have lots of good ones. And we need to advocate for them too. Because sometimes they're just the messenger. That's all they are, is the messenger. And we come down pretty hard on them. I do. When they tell me something that I feel like we're not putting the kid first, I get on my caseworker. But also, I have to remember that a lot of them are just following the laws. Bills that are passed that we don't agree with. But we want to open the conversation right here, all year, on Foster Life. Tristan and I, and Courtney, volunteer. We signed on for 100 shows this year, 100, and a tour. And we hope that we're going to hear from you, that you'll surround us and let us help you however we can. But tearing each other down, that's not going to work. We have so many cool people. I got a guy in New York. He shares every show we do. And he's got like 10,000 followers on his foster care support group. And we love that guy.
That's all we really care about is just
Right.
getting it out there.
We have
having conversations.
We have a ton of those people. Now I have a few people, I got called pathetic. What I'm doing is pathetic. Hey, if you're that person, just don't tune in. But we're hoping that we can do a mission, that we can start conversations, that we can listen to each other.
We love hearing stories.
Right. And that we can help understand help us to understand, but we're also hoping that we can help you understand. And that we can be a team and build a community so that we can have more foster homes. So we can get the abuse and neglect rate down in foster care. So that we're sharing the positive stories and not all the negative bull crap. That's what we want to do. We're behind you 100%. So tune in. Wednesday on Foster Life, we're going to be back and we're going to have some good stuff. Next Monday, Courtney's on the show, live, March 2nd. Where are we live at?
There in Branson.
Branson, Missouri. We're going to be on spring break, and how cool is it? We're going to have a live studio audience in Branson, Missouri on Foster Life. We'll see you on Wednesday. Have a good week. Enjoy your bundles of joy. And if you're thinking about fostering, call today. Dial those digits and see what you got to do to get started. Right here on Foster Life. See ya.